scooping down. So that way you will have a nice long spine, your shoulders are back and down, and remember that your extension of your spine goes all the way up into your neck. So even if you're having a nice long spine here, but your neck's like this, we want to grow nice and long all the way up like a string being pulled up to the sky. So you can do those modifications of sitting on a pillow or a blanket or sitting with your back up against a wall to help lift that pelvic floor and grow that spine nice and long. I have been doing this for a little bit of time and have been dancing. I danced for 15 years. So I'm going to throw my pillow down by the side. I'm not going to need it, but feel free. Always listen to your body throughout this. Your body will tell you what it needs. It will tell you if it needs a break. It'll tell you if you need a big deep breath. It'll tell you if you need a stretch. So you listen to your body. Regardless of what I'm doing, if you need a break, take it. I'm never going to be mad at you for breathing and listening to your body. So wherever you're at, back up against a wall, sitting on a pillow or a blanket, let's take those palms straight up to the sky, resting on those knees so we can gather in all that energy. And our theme today is our finding our center and coming back to our center. So we're working through this core the entire time. So we're just going to start with some big, deep breaths. So you can close your eyes. It might feel weird at first if you've never done this before, but you're going to close your eyes, picture your favorite place, whether it be the mountains, on a beach somewhere, in your backyard, anywhere, regardless. And you're going to shut those eyes and take a big inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Each time, this is called our breath cycle. So big inhale and exhale. We're finding our little Zen moment here. So big inhales and exhales. Keep picturing that your favorite place. Big inhales and exhales. Just a few more here. We really want to find our center. Keep breathing at your own pace. Nice long spines. Roll those shoulders back and down. It's almost like we could just fall asleep in this position. Big inhales and exhale. Let's just do two more here. Big inhale, grow that spine nice and long. And exhale to release all that stress out of your body. Let's do two more. Big inhale and exhale. Last one here. Big inhale and exhale. You can keep these eyes shut if you would like, or you can open them. We're going to take those hands right on top of each other, down onto your lower belly, right by your belly button. So we're going to fill up. We're going to basically practice our breathing here so we can find center. We're going to fill up our hands. So take a big inhale, and on your exhale, fill up your hands. Kind of push your belly out a little bit so you can feel that nice big stretch, and then take an inhale. I call this lacing up your rib cage and taking your belly button into your spine. It's nice and tight to work through that core. And exhale, fill up those hands. And inhale, take that belly button up into your spine. Nice long spine. And exhale. And you take this at your own pace. You breathe, inhale whenever you would like and for however long. And big exhale to release. This is just going to help us fire up from that core and grow a nice long spine. Big exhale. Keep inhaling nice and tall. And exhale, fill up those hands with your belly. And then take it in, lace up that rib cage. Take that belly button to your spine. Beautiful. Even here, you're already working through that core. So nice big inhales and exhales here. We really just want to find our center and find our balance. This entire time, we're just going to be breathing through this. And always take it at your own pace. Listen to your body. That will tell you what you need and if you need a break. Let's do 3 more here. Big deep breaths. And exhale. For these big deep breaths, I'm not counting to a certain number on how many we do. We are just really trying to find our center. So keep inhaling and exhale, fill up those hands. Let's do 1 more big inhale and exhale. Now we're going to take those hands and hug your torso so your hands are wrapped around your rib cage. We're going to take a big inhale. You kind of feel that like a rib cage laced together like the back of a wedding dress or some shoelaces. And exhale, you kind of sink that spine. When you inhale, grow nice and tall. You feel that rib cage start to come together, lace up. That's working your core big time. And exhale. And even here, elongate the space from your earlobes to your shoulders. You want a nice long neck as well. Keep breathing through this. Big inhales and exhales. Fill up that rib cage with those lungs. Exhale. Feel that rib cage laced together. Big deep breaths. It might feel funny breathing in through your nose and breathing out from your mouth so loudly, but I promise it is good for your body. You want to oxygenate all your muscles. So keep breathing through this, lacing that rib cage together. You naturally feel how your rib cage expands and then laces up each time. Keep taking it at your own pace. Big deep breaths. We're just going to do 3 more here. Keep filling that rib cage up with air, and then exhale, lace that rib cage together. Keep breathing through this. Last one here, big inhale. And exhale, lace that rib cage together. Now we're gonna hold this rib cage laced together. So even if you wanna take your hands around your rib cage here to lace those fingertips so you can feel that spine fired up, fire up that core. And we're gonna take the backs of your hands onto your knees and we're gonna isolate this torso. So when I was explaining the principles of Pilates, it's stability and mobility. So we're going to be stable in our hips down and mobile in our torso and our rib cage and our upper body. So keep those hips planted down onto the mat. Keep those sits bones on your glutes glued down to the mat. And we're going to isolate that torso to the right. So when you isolate your torso to the right, you don't want to take your whole body with you. You want to stay stable here and mobile here. So take it to the right side and to the center. Each time we want to pause just to find our center again, as this is the theme of our session this morning, and then take it to the left and bring it into center. And just keep flowing through this. Big deep breaths. Even if you want to close your eyes here, if that helps you find center more. Stable through those hips down. Taking it at your own pace. Big deep breaths. Isolating that torso here and that rib cage here will also work through your core, definitely right in the center, as well as those obliques down by the side, because the more you reach to the side, the more you got to fire up from those obliques to bring you back up to center. So keep flowing through this, coming back to center each time. Listening to your body, taking it one breath at a time. Let's do 3 more sets here. Really just find that center, keeping that nice long spine here, even when you're isolating to the left and the right. For 2 more. Last one. Last side. Bring it to center. Keeping those palms up to the sky. We're going to roll those shoulders back and down so we can start to stretch through this neck. So take those shoulders, kind of just lift them straight up to the sky and drop them down. So me and are at the studio, we just call this hunchy. You never want to be hunchy. You want to have a nice long spine, elongating the space from your lips to your shoulder, but I want you to feel what it's like. Obviously, this is over-exaggerated, and then roll those shoulders back and down into your spine. You can even feel your back working here to keep those shoulders down. Lift them up to the sky, and lower, and lift, and lower. And regardless of your exercise experience or your experience with Pilates, we are doing all fundamental exercises here. So you can never get enough of your fundamentals. You can never learn your fundamentals too many times. It's just great to practice from the ground up over and over again, regardless of how long you've been doing Pilates. And if you've never done Pilates before, this is a great foundational workout. Let's do 2 more here, just lift and lowers. Last one, and lower. You're gonna take those hands to the front of your mat, right in front of your little toes here. And we're gonna take a big inhale and exhale, and we're gonna scoop those hands up to the sky and drop them back down. So we're just taking big inhales to lift and drop and lower. And again, our principle in Pilates is flow. So we are flowing through this. Big inhales to release those hands and release those shoulders back and down. Keep taking some big inhales and exhales here. Again, take it at your own pace. If you want to have your circle be a little smaller here, that's totally great with me, especially if you have some shoulder tightness. This will definitely release this. We're going to do 3 more in this direction and then reverse the direction. I like to reverse each direction, so let's keep it at the back at this one, at the back of your mat, and then we're going to take those shoulders up and towards the front of the room. Take those fingertips up and towards the front of the room. Yes, big inhales and exhales here, gorgeous. You listen to your body, still maintain that nice long spine, still maintaining that nice laced rib cage position so you can get that core fired up. Because regardless of what you're doing, Pilates is all about your core. Everything starts from your center and works out nice and long. Let's just do 2 more here. Last one. Hold those hands in the front. Place those back of the hands on your knees, palms up to the sky. We're going to stretch through our neck here first before we get into our full practice, just because I want us to loosen up big time here. We don't know how tight we are, our muscles, how tight we are until we stretch them out. So you're going to take that eyesight towards the front of the room now. I'm going to have you look straight up to the sky or your ceiling, and then exhale, bring it down, look into your lap. Up to the sky, and release it down. And Pilates is all about taking your eyesight all the way with you so you can melt and release into it each time. Because if your eyesight just stays in one position, then you're not letting your body release as much as it can. Take this at your own pace, especially want to take it a little bit slower here when we're working through our neck so we can really stretch it out. We're going to just do 2 more here. Keep taking big inhales and exhales. Last one, all the way up and down to your lap. Bring it back to center. Now we're going to take this eyesight and look to the side of the room. Usually you can just look directly to the side of the room, but I want us to get an even deeper stretch through our neck here. You're going to try to look over and past that shoulder and bring it back to center. We want to hold in the center again to take a big inhale and exhale to find our center, as this is the theme of the session. And then take it over the opposite shoulder. Look up and over that shoulder. Take that eyesight all the way with you and bring it back. Beautiful. Keep breathing through this. Taking it at your own pace. It's never a bad thing to go as slow as you can. I always say to our clients, feel like you're going through wet cement or honey, something that you create your own resistance on. breathing through this. Keep lacing that rib cage. Keep growing that spine nice and long. Big deep breaths. Just 2 more sets here. Last set. Last side. Bring it back to center. This last one is going to be our deepest stretch in our neck. So Pilates is also a progression exercise. And what that means that we're going to start from the easiest thing and work up to the hardest, whether it be working from the easiest stretch into the deepest stretch you can be in, or starting from the easiest position in an exercise and working your way up. That's how we build on top of each other. So this is going to be our deepest stretch for our neck before we get started. You're going to take your right hand. You can gently rock that right ear to that right shoulder. You can use your hand if you want a deeper stretch, or you can do no hands and just let your neck release. And even if you tip your head a little forward, you might find a place in your neck where you're tight and you didn't even realize it. Maybe you slept on your pillow wrong, but this is going to get that big stretch through your neck here, almost even down to your shoulders. And even here, whenever you're stretching on your exhale, you want to try to melt like a little popsicle so you can release into the stretch as much as you can. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. Big inhales and exhale. Last one, big inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's bring that head back to center. Now with your left hand, if you want, take that head over, tip that ear to your left shoulder, or you can do no hands and just let your body melt. But if you need that deeper stretch to release and melt here, you can roll forward, find a new little place to stretch in. You really want to be gentle with your body. Listen to your body. Take it at your own pace and keep breathing through this. Even while we're stretching, you still want to maintain that nice long spine. Lace that rib cage together and work through that core. Let's do 2 more breaths here. Big inhale and exhale. Last one, big inhale and exhale. Let's release that head down, bring it back to center. We are going to have our mat long out in front of us so we can extend our legs nice and long to get a big stretch behind the backs of these legs. A lot of times our hamstrings are so tight, especially in men and women. Our hamstrings are super tight, which causes low back issues. We really want to stretch those out, which is what we're going to do here. And even when we're here, you can still sit with your back up against the wall, so you're not all hunchy or rounded, or you can sit on a pillow right on your sits bones, those bones right in your glutes to keep your pelvic floor lifted, nice long spine. And even if you're here, even if you do find that you have really tight hamstrings, bend those knees. It'll be a little bit less of a stretch, and you'll be able to forward fold and work through this spine. So Pilates is also all about articulating through that spine. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do one version with my bent knees, and listen to your body here. This is your body. You can do what you want with it. So you're going to take that eyesight, follow that eyesight to your chest, to your belly button, to your pelvic floor, to your quads, to your knees, to your ankles, and reach those arms out long in front of you. And take a big inhale, and on your exhale, roll it up slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, so your head is the last thing to come up. Okay, again, keep rolling down, starting through that eyesight, articulate through that spine. I like to say to my clients that your spine is a little pearl necklace, and you want to have 1 pearl down at a time. So starting from the top, working down 1 little vertebrae at a time to get that nice big stretch. And your knees can stay bent here, or if you want to get an even deeper stretch, nice long legs, and keep articulating. It does not matter how far you go. You don't have to touch your nose to your knees. You can even be here. We just want to articulate through that spine each time, rolling up. The head is the last thing that comes up each time. Melt it down. Even when you're melting here, you want to roll those shoulders back and down so you can even work through that back. In Pilates, you never realize how much you're working until you go home or the next day and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel it in the tiniest little muscles I didn't even know I had. That's why I love it so much. It's those tiny intrinsic muscles that we forget about sometimes, or that you forget about sometimes if you're working out at home or working out at the gym. And again, keep breathing and melting here. We're just gonna do 2 more. Melt it down, go long through that neck, and scoop to lift it in. Last one here, roll it down. Let's hold this last one so we can really melt into this stretch as much as we possibly can. And again, what I was saying earlier, on each exhale, take a big exhale, you can kind of feel your muscles letting go a little bit more. Your body naturally has a defense mechanism to seize up and try to protect you when you're trying to release into your muscles. So you have to be like, oh no, brain, this is a good stretch. We want to melt here as much as we can. So that exhale really has to melt as much as you possibly can here. Let's take a big inhale, exhale, roll it up every vertebrae of our spine, one at a time. Beautiful. That is the last thing to come up. Let's bring our bent knees. Your legs are your hip distance apart, so they're not glued together. They're right in line with your hips, the width of your body. This first round, we're going to do some roll-ups, again, to massage through the spine, and this is definitely going to start getting to your core. You can keep bent knees if you want to be modified, or you can always, if you want to challenge yourself, have nice long legs. Again, they don't have to be squeezing together. They can be the width of your mat, which helps that lower back and it helps your spine. So let's eat bent knees. I'm going to keep them bent just so I can give a very modified version for everybody, just in case. So the first round, we're going to be holding those hamstrings, so the backs of your legs. And we're going to articulate through the spine, and it's called a C curve in Pilates. You feel like you have maybe like a tennis ball size ball right in your belly button, and you scoop it down. Just we're going to arch here like our cat-cows in yoga, and then arch it up. Take the eyesight with you up to the sky. Take it down, C curve, and bring it up. And when you're doing here, you're leading with your belly button down to C curve, and then you're lifting from the chest to bring it up. So it's important to know where you're leading each exercise, like our principle of Pilates being aware, having awareness of where you're going, having awareness of where every exercise and movement is starting from. So we're just stretching out the spine even more before we do our roll-ups. And each week will get a little bit harder, like I was saying, with the progression exercise. So each week will be progressing a little bit more, but I will always show modifications, and you always listen to your body. You get to decide what you want to do. And if during this you want to just keep stretching the whole time, that is great with me. Our bodies need it more than we give it to them. Keep breathing here. One more set. C curve. And scoop and lead from the chest. And now bring it to a nice neutral position. And now if you're up against a wall, you kind of want to take yourself away so you have some room, because now we're going to roll all the way down onto our mat. So starting with those hands on those hamstrings, you're going to C curve it down and take those hands, walk them down and lay one vertebrae down on the mat, one at a time. Take those hands, reach above your head just to open up that rib cage, and then take a big exhale. You feel that rib cage lace together to work through that core. Bring those arms and hands back down onto those glutes and those hamstrings. Take the eyesight to your belly button and use those hamstrings to pick you all the way up. It is never a bad thing to use your body to help flow through this. That's what it's there for, so use it. So take it down, C curve, one vertebrae at a time, laying it down like a little pearl necklace, reaching those arms up above, and scoop to lift, walk it all the way up. You want to peel that eyesight starting from your chest to your belly button to your quads to your knees till you're all the way up to the sky and back down. We want to control this. You want to feel like you're going through wet cement that's almost dry or honey. So you're creating your own resistance here. And again, keep breathing. Obviously, I'm talking through this whole thing, but you get to take big inhales through your nose and big exhales through your mouth. And I never care when your inhales or your exhales are during our movements, because I just want you to breathe and focus, especially for a Mat Pilates class, level 1 beginner. I just want you to breathe. That's all that I care about. Last one here, rolling it down, reaching those hands up above, and scoop those hands back on those hamstrings to walk yourself up and in. Now that we're here, and like I was saying before, Pilates is a progression exercise. So now it's going to get a little harder. We won't have those hands to hold on to our hamstrings. But if you need them, and that was the hardest for you, you keep it at that pace. You listen to your body. But if you want to try one, and you realize, oh my gosh, okay, no, I need to go back to having my hands on my hamstrings, that is perfectly fine. That is great with me. Listening to your body is the number one principle just of the world in general, of life. But the second round, you're gonna stack those hands on top of each other, almost like an Egyptian, or you can keep having those hands on those hamstrings. But this is a progression exercise, so we're getting a little bit harder, so now you won't have that support from your legs. Again, C-curve it down, roll it down, keep those feet planted, reach those hands above your head to open up the chest, open up the shoulders, and exhale, lace the rib cage together, peel up that eyesight to your chest, to your belly button, to your quads, to your knees, to your nice long spine back, and scoop it down. And again, feeling like you're going through wet cement. You want to keep those feet glued to the mat like I duct taped them, and all the way back up. This is a great stretch for your spine too. We don't realize how tight we are until we start stretching it out. Peeling that eyesight all the way up. 2 more here, just articulate down. And we're opening the chest, opening up those shoulders, peeling that eyesight all the way up. And all the way down, slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's roll this last one up. Keep breathing and lifting, peel it up. Beautiful. Now here's our third round, so it's going to be even harder. If you want to stay with your hamstrings or stay here, that's great with me. But this next round, we're going to be arms up to the sky. So when our arms up to the sky, we have more energy reaching in opposition, which is another principle of Pilates. So the more you're reaching in opposition, the harder it's going to be for that core. So lace that rib cage together, have a nice wide stance with those feet, and bend legs if you need it to support your lower back and your core. Arms up, take a big inhale, exhale, scoop, C-curve it down. Those arms naturally fall down as your spine lays down. And then those arms reach back up to the sky above your head. And then articulate 1 vertebrae at a time. Isolate your belly button, your hips, your quads, your knees. Bring it back up. Nice long spine. Exhale, scoop and roll it down. And keep breathing through this. Big inhales through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. Each time having a nice long spine. Roll those shoulders back and down. Keep breathing through this. Gorgeous. Keep having a nice long spine, opening up those shoulders. We're going to do 2 more here. Scoop it down. Taking this at your own pace, articulating up every vertebrae 1 at a time. Hold this last one down, reach those fingertips above your head, grow those arms and legs nice and long in opposition, like another principle of Pilates. You are going to take a big inhale, You feel the rib cage open up to the sky. You kind of arch that back. And then even if you want to take those hands around your rib cage to guide yourself, you're going to take a big exhale. You have a nice long spine. We call it a neutral spine in Pilates. And that rib cage is laced together like the back of a wedding dress or some shoelaces. And then open it up. Get that nice big stretch. And lace that rib cage together. Open it up. It's good just to feel the stretch in opposition. And then feel what it should be like when your abs are fired up, ready to go. Just 2 more here. Last one, open up that rib cage. And exhale. Now we're going to keep this rib cage closed up, laced up, fired up, and bring those heels into our glutes. They won't be touching, but we're going to be as close as we possibly can. And again, for this one, your legs are not glued together. You want your legs to be hip distance apart. So your knees are right in line with your shoulders. Our arms are going to be long and strong during this, and we are going to bridge up. Our bridging is going to get into our glutes and our hamstrings, and again, is articulating through this spine 1 vertebrae at a time. So those arms are long and strong. I always say push your energy from the palms of your hands down into the mat to help. You have all these extra limbs, you might as well make them useful. So let's take it up 1 vertebrae at a time. You start to peel the pelvic floor and lift up. Always feel the energy shooting out from your knees up and over your toes, which will help you get into those glutes and the hamstrings more. And then exhale, roll it down 1 vertebrae at a time, as slow as you can. Beautiful. Scoop that pelvic floor in your tummy. Lift 1 vertebrae at a time. Shoot the energy out from your knees over your toes, and exhale, roll it down. Even here, remember, you got to keep that rib cage laced together. You got to work that core. So keep breathing through this. And exhale it down. And this is just great for your body, especially Saturday. There's nothing better to start off your Saturday than a nice big stretch Pilates class. And then you will be free to do whatever you want for the rest of the day. Keep peeling up. And rolling it down 1 vertebrae at a time like a little pearl necklace. We're just going to keep flowing through this. This is a really great exercise for your glutes and your hamstrings. With Pilates, I feel, and some of our clients feel, that you don't feel the effects of the exercise until like 24 hours later. And then you're like, oh my gosh, my tiny muscles hurt. My glutes are on fire. My hamstrings are on fire. But that just means you worked out super hard. But that's the whole point of Pilates. It's high intensity, but very low impact. So you won't feel it all right away. You'll feel how hard you worked the next day. So Sunday morning, you should be feeling this, especially in the glutes and the hamstrings. Let's do 2 more. Really important, 1 vertebrae at a time. Last one to lift. And lower every 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Send those legs long out in front of you. Again, you can be hip distance apart. Your feet can be as wide as the mat or glued together. When they're glued together, it's just a little bit harder. We are going to articulate our eyesight to our belly button here, which is just going to fire up those upper abs. So those abs right in your rib cage. Those arms are long and strong. And when we do this, we kind of want to grow longer from our fingers. Feel like we're reaching something that's just a little too far away. We're super close, but we're not there yet. So you're going to take your eyesight and just lift it up to your belly button. And when you do this, it's not just your neck. You want to almost lift from those shoulders so you can get real deep into that core. See how my shoulder blades aren't even touching the mat anymore. Reach those fingers nice and long, and then roll it down. Scoop to lift, eyesight at that belly button. You want to actually look at your belly button. No wandering eyes. I don't let any of my clients have wandering eyes. It's hard, even for me, after doing this for so long. I still want to wander those eyes. No, you want to be best friends with your belly button. You want to look into that belly button, which will help you lift from your shoulder blades and help you drive it home deeper into that core. And drop it long. And again, keep breathing through this. If you have any tightness in your neck, you can lay back down and take your eyesight from side to side. But you shouldn't have any tightness in your neck other from this exercise because you're lifting from those shoulders. The shoulders are lifting you up so you can take your eyesight at your belly button to work deep into that core. That's what I'm saying. You got all these limbs, your whole torso, you want to use it to your advantage. Each time, reach those fingertips nice and long. Keep breathing through this. And drop it down. And even if you're like, oh my gosh, it's going way too fast, you take it at your own pace. Always listen to your body. Your body will let you know if it needs a break or if it can do more. Reach those fingertips each time. We're going to do 2 more here. Reach and lower and scoop and lower. Last one to lift. Eyesight at your belly button and lower. Now we're going to bend those knees, bring those heels back almost into your glutes, not quite touching. Still keeping those knees, the hip distance width apart in line with your shoulders. We're going to do the same thing, just a few more rounds here to reach those fingertips nice and long. Eyesight at your belly button, even when you're here. So our belly kind of naturally wants to shoot up to the sky. I want you to drive that belly button down into your spine like we were practicing earlier with our breathing with our hands on our belly button. So that will help you lace up that ribcage even more. So you're kind of like exhale, bring that belly button down into that spine and lower. And keep breathing through this. Reach those fingertips longer, like you're trying to touch something, but you can't quite reach it. And drop it down. We're just going to do a few more here before we combine the two. Again, progression exercise, Pilates here. So we're going to build on top of each other. Just 3 more. Scoop. And lower. 2 more. Eyesight at your belly button. Reach those fingertips and drop. Scoop it up and lower. Rest your head down. Now we are going to do 1 bridge up. After we lay that vertebrae down, we're going to take that eyesight to our belly button. So we're going to do morph the 2 together. So keep those arms long and strong. Push the energy down from those palms into the mat. Shoot that knee energy up over your toes. Scoop up 1 vertebrae at a time. Squeeze those glutes and those hamstrings big time here. And exhale it down every vertebrae 1 at a time. Reach those fingertips, eyesight at your belly button, and bring it down. And then again, scoop up every vertebrae of your spine. And exhale, bring it down. Eyesight at your belly button, reach those fingertips. And drop it down. Scoop to lift every vertebrae of your spine up. And lower it down. And again, take this at your own pace. Listen to your body. Big, deep breaths. Really drive deep into these glutes and those hamstrings when you bridge up. And then drive it deep into that core when you take your eyesight to your belly button. 3 more sets here. Still finding your center and coming back to center each time. Beautiful. Keep breathing through this. 2 more. Keep that ribcage laced together. Work that core even when you're up in your bridge. 1 more set. Scoop to lift. And exhale and melt and lower. Last one, eyesight at your belly button and drop it down. Gorgeous. You are going to hug your left knee into your chest. Send that right leg long and circle this left ankle in one direction, just so we can stretch out from the ankles. We're going to get a nice big stretch here and really work through those quads, or big thighs here. So switch that direction on the left ankle so we can get on both. Make sure we're even. Still flowing through this. Freeze that foot on the left side. You can hug your leg, your right knee into your chest to bring it straight up to the sky. I'm going to have us do our leg circles here. Now we are going to keep them tiny just for our first session here because we got to lay the groundwork, and then eventually we will get them up to be bigger and bigger, because the bigger your leg circles, the more you got to hold on to that core. So we're going to start from the ground up. Still holding this left knee into your chest, the right toe is straight up to the sky. Even if you can't bring your right toe straight up to the sky, you can have a bent knee and still do tiny little circles here. So there's always modifications for anybody and everybody. So wherever you're at, we're going to do tiny little circles. We're going to go in one direction. So I'm going to start with my right. Tiny little circles here. Again, feeling like you're going through wet cement or honey. Feel like your big toe is a marker trying to write on the ceiling above you. Or if you're outside enjoying the weather, reach that toe up to the sky. Even here, you want to work through that inner thigh, right down into your pelvic floor, still lacing that rib cage together, driving that belly button into your spine. Breathe through this. For 3 more here. Pilates is never a race. You want to go slow. You articulate those muscles even more when you do that. Last one in this direction. And reverse. Big deep breaths. When we're doing this leg circle, this is our stability and mobility. So our leg is mobile, but our upper body is stable. So hold those shoulder blades glued down onto your mat. Hold those hips stable. Big deep breaths. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And hug this right knee into your chest. Let's give our leg a little bit of a rest. So hug those knees in. I like to have everybody rock from side to side to massage out their spine even more. Loosen up from that lower back. Big deep breaths wherever you are at. Each exhale, melt deeper into your stretch. One more breath cycle here. So a breath cycle is a big inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Let's freeze it here in the center. Hug in the right leg this time. And again, send that left toe up to the sky. If you want to be modified here, keep that in a little tabletop position. And let's take that toe and circle, holding this upper body stable so your leg can be mobile. Big deep breaths. Work that inner thigh. Even here, if you're pointing your toes and you're starting to get a little bit of a cramp in your toes, first off, you need to drink a lot more water. That will really help. Whenever I don't drink enough water, I can definitely tell my toes start cramping up, but you can always flex that foot. Let's reverse that direction. Big deep breaths. Hold that core tight. Work through those quads here. For 2 more. And 1. And hug this knee back into your chest. Again, rock from side to side. Massage out through that spine. Big deep breaths. Big inhales through your nose. And exhale. Now we are going to place our hands on our hamstrings behind those legs so we can find our momentum to rock and roll ourselves all the way up to our seated position. However you want to get there, grab on something around the room. We are going to roll like a ball, which is going to taps our core big time. This definitely works your core and it helps elongate your spine. Now, if you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, I'm not going to have you roll like a ball. You're going to want to be stable. So you're going to take your little toes onto the mat. You can hold your knees or your hamstrings, wherever you want them to be, and you are going to tap those toes and lift, tap and lift. We are just going to do 2 and 1. Hold this last one up. Now, if you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, you stay in this position, just hold here. We're just gonna do 3 of our roll like a balls, and then we will breathe it out. So you're gonna scoop that spine, seek her, roll it down, and lift all the way up. Nice long spine. 2 more, scoop, and lift. Last one, lower, and lift it up. Place those toes down onto your mat. You can come back to your crisscross applesauce position. And each session, I just am going to have us do 4 breath cycles so we can release out any stress in our body. So those palms are going to be straight up to the sky. Take a big inhale to scoop. Elongate the space from your earlobes to your shoulders and rest it down. Big inhales, lift and lower. 1 more. Inhale those hands up to the sky. Prayer position those hands, glue them together, bring them down to your heart center. Your eyes can blink closed and your head can tip down. With 1 last big inhale, and on your exhale, feel all the stress release out of your body. Open up those eyes, open up your hands, and you guys did it. Thank you so much. Perfect. We are done for this morning.
Yes, we are. Thanks a lot, Audrey. That was a fantastic session. And we'll see you next Saturday. But does anybody have any questions for Audrey? We have a chat box in the bottom if you will see. She can address it the next time. She's going to be doing 4 of these sessions. And the next Saturday is when she comes back. At the same time, 10:30 to 11:20. And I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. Again, Audrey, thank you so much. I don't see any questions that have come up. So we will see you next Saturday. That was really good.
Thank you. Each time will get a little harder. So keep coming back to work those muscles.
I totally understand. And I'll be prepared for that myself. Okay, Audrey. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Okay, we have a question.
Do we have a question? Okay, let me open this. When doing, do you have tension in your neck when doing anything or when doing specific pull-ups to your belly button? If you have tension in your neck, you just lay that neck nice and long. So if I'm laying here and I'm telling you to bring your eyesight to your belly button, or if we're doing a 100, which will progress our way there eventually, you let your head rest down. And if you're feeling tension when you're still laying down, when I lay nice and long, I take my eyesight to the left side of the room to stretch out that neck, and then the right side of the room, very slow. Our neck is very sensitive and gentle, so even obviously we all have that one time where we go to sleep on the pillow wrong and our neck hurts for like a week and a half. That you want to just keep rocking from side to side and side to side. And even if you take a hot shower and you just let the warm water run on your neck and on each side, so right down the center, it'll help to loosen it out. So even if I'm saying, take your eyesight to your belly button and you know that your neck is already tight and you're feeling tension, you want to just take it at your own pace, leave that head down. And if you're feeling tension in your neck, you want to work that core more. But obviously we're starting very beginner. So you leave that head down whenever you feel that tension. Listen to your body. It's a big point of Pilates.
Any other questions?
I could talk forever.
Okay, maybe next time then. Thank you so much everyone for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you all next Saturday. Bye-bye.